Hi, welcome to another episode of the Financial Freedom Podcast. I'm Steve Richardson, a bankruptcy attorney trying to keep people on their path to financial stability and independence through education. One of the more mystifying subjects in personal finance, One of the more mystifying subjects in personal finance is cryptocurrency, what most people identify as Bitcoin. The concepts behind digital currency are not obvious and can lead to people being hesitant to get involved in it. That's why in this episode of the podcast, I talked to former truck driver and cryptocurrency enthusiast Bitcoin Ben to tell us about what it is, how you can get some, and why you should consider doing so. My guest today is cryptocurrency enthusiast, influencer, and entrepreneur Bitcoin Ben, who wants to help bring Bitcoin, Litecoin, and other cryptocurrencies into the mainstream. His efforts to do so have attracted the attention of the average Jane and Joe, as well as other cryptocurrency organizations and influencers, with his ability to explain complex cryptocurrency related subjects while injecting humor and some patriotism. He's a regular contributor to the X22 report, as well as other cryptocurrency and political shows. He is also partnered with Bitcoin Branches to produce quarterly entrepreneur events designed to help cryptocurrency entrepreneurs around the globe. Ben also co owns Calyx Solutions, the largest crypto laptop supplier in the industry. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Hey, how are you, Steve? Looking good, brother.
Well, when I read your little bio there, I like, great. He can explain it to us, Janes and Joes, because I just don't understand this whole cryptocurrency thing. And I've read about it. I've researched it. I did a solo episode a while back on the show about it, but I just have sort of a very surface understanding of it. So that's why I was excited to have you on the show to not only explain it to our listeners, but to explain it to me as well. So now we most people have heard of Bitcoin, all right, in one form or another, and but Bitcoin is just one of several cryptocurrencies. So I guess the first question is, what is a cryptocurrency, and how do you get them?
Well, there are a lot of like cryptocurrencies, tokens, utility tokens.
Mhm.
When you say cryptocurrency, it's a very general term for a lot of technology. It's it's the equivalent of actually saying like AI. You
Mhm.
know, it's you've heard it, but you don't really know exactly what it all involves.
Mhm.
And cryptocurrencies, especially like Bitcoin, which is technically digital property rights,
Mhm.
and it is and this is what's important. It's actually decentralized. So there is no government involved. It's created through software that runs on high powered processors.
Mhm.
And it's created all over the world. So, like the US government, they can't really do anything about it. I've had people ask, well, why isn't the US government, why aren't they just going to ban it? Well, it's because they can't. They don't have the authority nor the technical capability of doing it.
Mhm.
It's exactly like when uh, the government says we're going to outlaw marijuana.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. No, it's just not going to happen. People, laws are only as good as you can enforce them,
Mhm.
and in reality, laws are just illusions
Mhm.
where they write a law, they pass it, they say, okay, well, now you can't own, a certain handgun or whatever.
Mhm.
No one cares. No one really cares what the federal government says because our culture leads our actions. And good luck telling a person who has hunted and had weapons his or her whole life that you got to get rid of your guns. Well, good luck with that. That's not going to work out. And so it's actually decentralized technology,
Mhm.
and it's there there will only be 21 million Bitcoin ever created, and the last fraction of a coin will be created in 2142. So it's a little whiles away. But um, the the importance of that is its limited supply. So the federal government, who loves adjusting the interest rate and messing with inflation, then messing it up, and the inflation goes too high, your prices rise, then they adjust, they drop it, they push us into an economic issue. The federal government should have nothing to do with our money. It's
Well,
a,
you spake to these high-powered computers creating cryptocurrency. I mean, with regular money, you go to the bank or an ATM and you get money. And naturally, the mints and the federal government sort of control the number of the amount of currency in circulation at any one time in order to prevent rampant inflation. And I presume that that's to some extent why there's a limited number of Bitcoin. But you have a mint that prints money. So how do these computers and whose computers create the Bitcoin, and how does it get created, and how do people get any of it from the computer?
right. The software only releases, um, as of right now, about 6.5 Bitcoin every approximately 10, um, 10 to 15 minutes. It
Mhm.
fluctuates slightly. And what the computers are doing is they're racing. It's an actual competition, a hash rate, uh, to solve a mathematical high level problem that if you solve it and you're the very first one, then you're issued or you're released the actual Bitcoin for that block.
Okay.
And anyone in the world can actually mine Bitcoin. You could, I could, anyone who has a computer. Now, in the old days, you could run it on your laptop
Mhm.
and earn actual Bitcoin. Well, as the as the blockchain has gotten longer with more information,
Mhm.
it requires a higher powered computer to really have a chance to earn them.
Well, you said they have to solve a complex math problem.
Yes.
So that would be, the speed of the CPU on the computer, how many calculations per second it can do,
Yep.
things like
Hash
that.
rate.
Okay, so the number of calculations per second is what you refer to as a hash rate.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
And
so
it's
how did you mentioned a blockchain and the blockchain getting bigger? Does that make the calculation more complex the bigger the blockchain gets?
yes. Each block released has has a a uh, hash uh, code,
Hmm.
and that hash code is then actually mixed with all of the other hash codes of the whole blockchain,
Okay.
and then calculated to create the next hashed block. So the longer it gets, the more complicated the actual math problem is.
So
So
it sounds to me like you have a decentralized, in addition to a decentralized currency, you have a decentralized mint, really,
yes,
because
yep,
anybody with a powerful enough computer can work to generate or print, for lack of a better term, a unit of cryptocurrency. And
yes,
as the this blockchain gets longer and longer, it just becomes more and more difficult, really, because the access to these faster computers is more limited as far as generating a coin. And you said it generates about 6.5 coins every few minutes.
yeah, approximately between 8 and like 15 minutes. It fluctuates
Mhm.
actually due to how hard the problem is and how high of a hash rate all of the processors in the network are working.
Now, you said there by 2,100 and something, they will have printed or created the last uh, Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency. Are we just when how they differ? We're different currencies. Do they have different generation rates, different
Yes,
maximum numbers of coins?
yep,
So for right now, our listeners, we're just talking about Bitcoin now, right?
yes,
Okay.
only, yep.
So how many did you say would be printed by 2,100 and whatever?
Uh, 21 million.
Oh,
Right
okay.
now, right now, we have about 19,400,000 available or
Mhm.
in existence. All
Okay.
right. And so the last like 1 million coins will actually take over 100 years to create.
Because it becomes more and more complicated to solve the hash in order to create the coin.
Yep.
So it was fast in the beginning, and you're going to see a graph sort of slope down as it takes more and more time to generate a Bitcoin, and it'll slow down quite a bit. It's like approaching the speed of light, I guess.
Yes.
Everything slows
Yeah.
down quite a
Yeah.
bit. Now, uh, so next logical question is, what's a blockchain? What is that we're talking about?
A blockchain is a group of blocks of transaction information. So each transaction, if I send you $100 worth of actual Bitcoin,
Uh,
I have a private wallet. You also have a wallet. I send it to you. That is a transaction.
okay.
And then that transaction is entered into the blockchain forever. So there's always a record of mine and your transaction.
Okay.
And each block holds about 2.5 megabytes of transaction information.
Mhm.
And then that is all hashed inside that block. And then that block is hashed into the rest of the blockchain, which releases the reward. Once that's all hashed out, it releases the reward of the fresh Bitcoin to whoever solves that block.
Okay.
And so each block in the blockchain is a record of transactions of the actual Bitcoin.
Now, is a block in the blockchain? Is it a particular server? Is it something more virtual? Is there somewhere that has a physical block in the blockchain, or
No,
is this
no.
completely virtual?
If you think of it like this, Bitcoin is a decentralized ledger of transactions.
Okay.
And if you think of a ledger,
Uh-huh.
think of each block as a page in that ledger,
Okay.
right? Where I'm sending you Bitcoin, they're sending someone else Bitcoin, and everyone's shooting it all over the place. And as soon as that block is full, you flip the page, and then uh, you cryptographically come up with a hash rate blending all of the past pages together.
Okay.
And that's your blockchain. All of your past history of pages in your ledger is your blockchain.
Well, continuing the analogy, if a blockchain is pages in a ledger, where's the shelf that that ledger sits on? In other words, there has to be some sort of physical presence
Mhm.
for the blocks in that blockchain. So I guess that's when we come into servers or wherever the hardware
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
How is that hardware handled? That it has to have a physical location somewhere.
All over the world, everyone running the software runs what we call a full node, and that is a full history of every block ever created. And that node, there's about, last I checked, there's about 1.9 million full nodes running right now. And that means that they all have to agree on the transaction history of the blockchain. And if one of them doesn't agree with it, that that action, that one is left off because it isn't with consensus of the whole blockchain.
So each of these nodes is a redundant copy of the blockchain.
Yes. Yep.
And you're basically as nodes are added, you have more redundancy, which basically secures the records. You're not going to have a crash where the records are lost per se. It would have
Nope.
to be massive over all these nodes. And if any, and it also self-correcting, it sounds like, where if there is a node that somehow gets corrupted and it doesn't agree with all the others, then this international world global system just drops that node. out of the system, out of the web, right?
Yep, and it isn't allowed in until it accepts the result of the con, uh, consensus of the rest of the nodes.
Okay. So if you one way to get a Bitcoin would be to mine it yourself using a high-speed computer to solve the hash, and that
Yep.
gives you a brand new Bitcoin. Um, and I guess you're the one that puts it into the marketplace by making a purchase or an exchange of Bitcoin, and that's what throws it into the market and into distribution worldwide, right?
Yes, yep. And usually what they do is once they have actually won the reward, it shows up in their wallet, and their wallet then if they want, they can hold it, or they can sell it for electricity cost, you know, or shop with it, or whatever they
Mhm.
really want to, do with it.
Mhm.
And it's literally the most powerful network in the world.
Mhm.
It's uh, uh, TV, cellular phones, all of those networks aren't even half of what the actual Bitcoin network is,
Mhm.
as in power wise. So it is the strongest digital network in the world, and it's unhackable.
Hmm. Well, now, yeah, because if you hack into one and it throws it out of sync with the other blocks in the chain, well, the other nodes in the network, then it automatically gets knocked out
Yep,
until it gets back into sync. So
yep,
you would basically have to hack all the nodes simultaneously in
yes.
order to hack into the system and change anything.
And good luck with that.
I'm sure. So we understand, we got the coin, how to mine it, how to get it in an exchange if somebody pays you with it, uh, how it's stored in these blockchains and nodes. You mentioned wallets. Now, when I did my research on cryptocurrency and everything, as I understand, there's two kinds of wallets. There's a private wallet, which is really a an external drive that you can plug into your computer that acts as a wallet. You don't put anything else on it. It's basically your wallet. You can plug it in, give it the password, and then access the cryptocurrency in the wallet,
Yep.
or you can store it on in the cloud on a server somewhere. Is that
Yes.
basically correct?
Uh, you have either a hot wallet or a cold wallet.
Okay.
If you use an online exchange, that's a hot wallet.
Mhm.
It's like Coinbase or Kraken or Gemini. Um, that's where you actually go on there. You have a wallet with them, but they host it.
Okay.
And then you have a private wallet that you actually uh, you hold on your phone or on your laptop. It's up to you. And that one you host locally. And the equivalent is the reason I hold all of mine in a private wallet, either on a laptop or on my phone, is I look at it like if you go to Walmart and you go shopping and you grab some pizzas, you grab some soda, you go to the checkout, you check out, you pay for it, you don't leave your groceries at Walmart, right? So if you're on an online exchange,
Hmm.
and you're actually making a purchase, and you leave it on their hosting service. That's basically the equivalent of leaving your groceries at Walmart. You know, you paid for them, but you aren't really taking them home with you. You're leaving them at Walmart hoping that they don't resell your pizza and soda. And that's why I recommend everyone, if you hop on Coinbase, you buy a little Bitcoin, you move it off of Coinbase and you put it on your private wallet. And your private wallet, um, once you own a little bit of action, say you own 10 grand worth of actual Bitcoin.
Hmm.
What I recommend is you only hold on your phone what you plan on using over uh, like a week or so. The
Okay.
rest you hold on a laptop. And like you said earlier, I own a crypto only laptop company where we sell crypto only laptops.
Hmm.
And 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 how that is your laptop is basically like your silver or your gold at home.
Hmm.
You put it in a safe, you leave it there. You don't open it every day. You aren't in there counting your coins and counting your silver every day. You lock it up, you put it away. That's your safe wallet. Now, because I live in the actual like Bitcoin world, I shop and I get paid in actual Bitcoin. So I hold a wallet on 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 my phone. Now I usually only hold maybe $1,000 on my phone,
Hmm.
and that's the equivalent of your regular wallet. You know, it's you take it, you put it in your pocket. If you're out shopping, you pull out your credit card or you pull out cash. That's your usual shopping money. This is the equivalent of this.
Okay. Well, couple things. One, you mentioned that with these um, cloud-based wallets,
Yep, hot wallet.
leaving your hot wallets, it's like leaving your groceries in Walmart. So they're not secure. Somebody can come along and steal your Bitcoin from it.
No, no, they are secure. At least most reputable exchanges are secure. It's just a lot of us, we don't like someone else holding on to our coins for us
Okay.
because it's kind of like having silver or gold paper. You know, it's like, well, I own a bunch of silver and it's over in it's locked up over at the bank, but they gave me a receipt that says I got a bunch of silver there. You know, you have the receipt, but if times really get hard, and we've seen it in the American past, where the federal government says, now you got to turn over all your gold. They did that in 1935. And if you don't own and hold your gold or your silver, then you don't really own it. If you can't walk into your house and grab your silver and gold, you don't really own it.
Well, going to the cold wallet, then your phone or your laptop or your external drive. Uh, what happens if you lose your phone or the external drive when it's unplugged? Your laptop hard drive crashes, or you simply forget the password. What's the risk of loss of that cryptocurrency in a cold wallet?
Well, it's each wallet has what is called a seed phrase. A seed phrase is a group of words that is generated automatically when you create your wallet.
Okay.
And and as long as you write your seed phrase down or you memorize it, if if you're out and you break your phone and it's just gone,
Uh-huh.
as long as you have that seed phrase, you get a new phone, you download a wallet, you put in your seed phrase into the wallet, it 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 will recreate your original wallet.
So it sounds to me like there's some sort of cloud backup, or is it the blockchain? In other words, it does the blockchain maintain that phrase so that if you put it into the blockchain, it will um, put it back into a new cold wallet?
Yep. Your wallet has what is called a private seed and a public seed address.
Okay.
So if I send you Bitcoin, I'm sending it to your public address,
Right.
right? But only you own and have and can see your private address.
Right.
So your private address and the transaction hash and my public address is hashed together to actually create the transaction number of our transaction. And that's what actually goes into the blockchain. So no one knows your private address. It's it's the equivalent of someone says, "Hey, I want to mail you something,"
Mhm.
and you say, "Okay, well, here's my address," but you live in a huge complex.
Mhm.
So they have your public address, but they don't know which unit you're
Okay.
in inside of that large complex.
So, uh, since this blockchain has a history of every transaction, it can basically recreate your cold wallet
Yep.
as long as the your public and private key, as it were, match up, and
Yep.
it'll recreate the wallet as long as you have that phrase. Now, what prevents me from making a whole bunch of cold wallets and doubling or tripling my Bitcoin by simply asking it to recreate the wallet over and over?
Uh, because the actual wallet doesn't hold the Bitcoin. It is a reflective wallet. So the transaction, the ledger, the blockchain, remember, it's just a ledger of transactions.
Uh-huh.
There are no physical, actual coins or anything like that. It is a ledger of transactions. So if you put in your seed phrase in another wallet and another wallet and another wallet, all it's going to do is show you the exact same reflection of the blockchain in each wallet. It isn't going to show you having one wallet with 100 Bitcoin, then you create another wallet and now you have 200. No, it just shows you the reflection of all of the transactions and gives you a um, a ledger or a last transaction resolution amount reflected in that wallet.
So basically, it just provides you, like in the old days, we would have passbooks that
Yes.
would show, a you go to the bank and you make a transaction and they record it in your passbook.
Yep.
So you're not recreating the coins, you're recreating the passbook, which reflects whatever the current balance is of coins.
Yep.
Okay. So that's Bitcoin. Do all cryptocurrencies pretty much act on the same
Yeah.
concept, or they differ from coin to coin?
Um, they all work on basically the same concept. It's really the code that is actually different, like how um, a lot of coins have like billions and billions of coins available,
Okay.
or will actually be created, or their block size is larger, where each block holds more information.
Mhm.
And um, like Ethereum is more of a smart contract blockchain,
Mhm.
which means like programmable uh, currency,
Mhm.
where I can write a smart contract with you.
Mhm.
And I say, all right, I will pay you 1.5 ether if you do a job for me. And once the job is completed and verified, then the smart contract will release
Oh,
the ether to you.
so all right. So we understand how these coins are created, how the transactions are stored, and I assume there are ways of, like, um, if you want to buy make purchases or transactions with cryptocurrency. I mean, can you really go to Walmart and with your phone buy your groceries with
Yes,
cryptocurrency, or uh,
yes. Um, I have um, I have cards in my wallet that are linked with existing wallets, and it's like this one here. Right,
okay.
this one is actually linked with Cash App, and Cash App allows you to actually purchase uh, Bitcoin on their app.
And spend it as well, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
how do you go to the grocery store? Doesn't the grocery store have to have that software too on their end to accept the money?
Nope. This card actually works through Visa.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so it's Walmart isn't receiving actual Bitcoin; they're receiving USD. Cash App is selling your Bitcoin and sending Walmart cash.
Mhm. Well,
And
where's the cash come from for the in exchange for the Bitcoin? It's not a Bitcoin for Bitcoin exchange where Walmart is accepting Bitcoin in payment, how does that conversion from Bitcoin to dollars take place?
That happens in your Cash App on your phone. It's they have such a high volume of actual like purchasing and selling that they can transact your purchase pretty quickly. So there isn't a lot of float there, if at all. And so Walmart receives the cash from Cash App and Visa, and they sell your actual Bitcoin that you hold on Cash App. Now, what's really amazing is more and more places are accepting just plain Bitcoin, where you can walk in there. I have a friend who actually bought a Lamborghini using Bitcoin.
So
Uh,
it sounds like what Visa's doing is they're acting as the middleman
yes.
in a cryptocurrency transaction
Yep.
where they are taking in the Bitcoin, giving money to Walmart, then turning around and getting their money back by selling the Bitcoin on the blockchain.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, how does the average Joe and Jane get into cryptocurrency? They're not going to have the resources to mine it themselves.
Right.
What's really how do they get? How does the average Joe and Jane get involved or get any Bitcoin to begin with, or
Yep.
cryptocurrency?
The easiest way is you go on your phone and you download an app called Coinbase,
Uh-huh.
and you fill out the questionnaire. They'll have you send in your driver's license proving who you are. And that's the easiest way of actually buying it, because you link your credit card or your checking account, and you're like, all right, I want to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. Well, voila, it shows up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you have it in their wallet, you can either leave it on their exchange, which I don't recommend,
Mm-hmm.
or you transfer it to your private wallet on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And the private wallet I recommend on your phone is actually called Exodus Wallet.
Mm-hmm.
It's the easiest one to use, and there is no KYC. So they don't have your email address, they don't have your telephone number, they don't have anything.
Okay. So that's how the average person would get in. That's good. So,
Yep.
just to wrap it up, what you help folks? You have a company that has these cryptocurrency wallets. And one of my questions was, what's your favorite cryptocurrency? I'm assuming it's Bitcoin, since you're Bitcoin Ben.
Yes. Uh, uh,
Uh, is there a particular reason why you like Bitcoin over other cryptocurrencies?
uh, well, because right now that's gonna be the most profitable one in a risk reward situation. And plus, we are actually coming up to the halvening. And the halvening is when the block reward is actually cut in half.
Uh-huh.
So the supply that is actually created every block is actually cut in half. So with that mathematical calculation we can do, that will make the actual price of Bitcoin rise, because the amount created drops.
Right.
Yep.
Supply goes down, so value goes up.
Yep.
So really, and what people need to bear in mind is that these transactions of Bitcoin are very, or any cryptocurrency are very similar to stock trades, where you
Yes.
have a middleman, a market who's facilitating a trade between the buyer and the seller, and that the volatility of value is greatly the same. So the we're living in an inflationary age where the dollar has less and less value, and with inflation and recession, everything else that happens. But with cryptocurrency, that can be more volatile, can it? You're really kind of making an investment.
Yeah, it's well, it actually like me, I use it for a savings account and also a checking account.
Okay.
So I have an I have a certain amount that I keep on my phone
Uh-huh.
that if I'm out with friends or I go shopping or something like that, I'll use that.
Hmm.
Well, I have other wallets that I haven't touched in years. That is my actual like savings account.
Hmm.
And the there's a reason why the number one in investment in the last 14 years has actually been Bitcoin.
Hmm.
Every year it grows on average about 120% each year
Hmm.
on
So
an average.
so you have this company that can get people a cryptocurrency wallet
Yep.
and or laptop, really. What other services you provide? So if people, if listeners here want to know more about Bitcoin or maybe get some cryptocurrency and they want to reach out to you, how do you help folks, and how can they contact you?
Yep. Well, I have a few clubs and I'm launching more and more. I have a club in Sarasota, Florida, and I also have a club up here in Nashville, which I'm at right now.
Okay.
Um, and our clubs are actually like brick and mortar. You walk in, there's education sessions, there's one-on-ones, there's it whatever people want to learn about or hop on our website. We have a ton of how-to videos, what wallet you should use, how you should get involved, how to do it. We have it's it's very easy on how we lay it out on our website.
Okay.
So what I would recommend everyone do is I guess since I'm in Nashville right now, I would actually go to our website. It's actually www.bitcoinbenz.cryptoclubnashville.com. And if you want, I guess you could actually put like a link or something. Um, and that will show you our location here in Nashville. And there's a link where you can join, which joins the website. So if you don't live in Nashville, that's okay. The website actually gives you all the training, the information, and all of that. Plus, if you have questions, you can call up our clubs.
Sounds great. Well,
Yep.
I'll tell you, Ben, I now have a much better understanding of cryptocurrency than I did when we started, and I'm sure our listeners do as well. And it's interesting. It's been in the news a lot, and if folks want to dip their toe in the water of cryptocurrency, there are a lot of resources with Ben's Crypto Club. You check it out, and I'll have the links in the show notes.
Yep.
So
Uh, they can also find me on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, all over the place.
Okay.
Just, just look up Bitcoin um, um, pin, and there I am. I'm
Well,
all
I'll
over.
I'll try to have all those links for convenience right there in the show notes so folks can check them out all in one place. But
Okay,
thanks for coming on the show, Ben, and teaching us all about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
no problem, my brother. You have a great day.
You too.